Raheem Sterling is as good as some people would have us believe, why have both Liverpool and Manchester City been prepared to sell him to title rivals?
Maybe they don't see Chelsea as title rivals. Maybe Manchester City only see Liverpool as rivals for the title because of how far Chelsea were off them.
Yeah, we had known about this for quite a while, but it has now been done and Dustin all signed and sealed. And this is what Sterling had to say about the move. London is my home and where it all started for me. And it's amazing I now have the opportunity to play in front of friends and family week in, week out at Stamford Bridge. Earlier on, Gabby, Ali and I spoke about this alongside Mario. And I think all of us were in agreement. We think this is a good move. Do you think this is a good move for Sterling and Chelsea?
Unbelievable move for Chelsea and for Sterling. And last season, I noticed his body language. You know, he looked like he's fed up with being rotated. You know, players won't mind a little bit of rotation, but he seemed to be the one that was rotated the most. So he probably thought, you know what, I'm still quite young, 27. I want to go and play week in, week out. You know, I've won the Premier League with Manchester City, won trophies in Manchester City. Let me go and play week in, week out. Would have spoke to Thomas Tuchel, Chelsea. Like he says, London's where it all started. Perfect move for him, a top club. And they've been crying out for someone like Sterling, Chelsea. Pulisic hasn't done it. Ziyech hasn't done it. He's the perfect signing for Chelsea. So all Chelsea fans should be very excited.
Ali, let me ask you a question that a Spurs fan texted in earlier about this move. He says, if Raheem Sterling is as good as some people would have us believe, why have both Liverpool and Manchester City been prepared to sell him to title rivals?
Well, I think one of the things would be his contract situation, Gabby. Did he have a year to go? Was it a year?
Yeah.
Well, that's one factor right away. So the decision to a certain degree is taken out the Manchester City's hands, because you either get something for him or he goes for nothing. I don't think it was going back to Liverpool. Do you ever go back? Sometimes, you know, you look at a lot of players, it doesn't work when they go back to a club that they've been at. So I don't think it's a major surprise there. However, I think it's a great move. I'm with Gabby. I think his level of finishing has vastly improved, you know, when he worked under Guardiola at Manchester City, and I just think it's a great move for Chelsea and Raheem Sterling. I hear what the guy's saying, you know, when he comes in with the message, but the fact of the matter is, what did Manchester City do? Did they keep him for a year and not get anything at all for him? No, they don't.
And I think as well, Ali, they look at it and they've got Alvarez has come in now.
Of course.
They've got Grealish, Foden, Mahrez. They've got so many options. It makes sense. Get some money in, balance the books with the players that you're bringing in.
By the way,
and it suits both players.
100%. You could argue that Manchester City's activity financially in the transfer market this time around has been nothing short of magnificent.
Yeah.
When you think of what they paid for Haaland, you know, and the money they've got in for Jesus and Sterling.
I don't think Pep's the sort of manager who'll be bothered about what's happening at other clubs, making other clubs stronger. He'll think, you know what, he's been an amazing player for me, but I've got so many options, I'll still back myself to finish above Chelsea. And maybe they don't see Chelsea as title rivals. Maybe Manchester City only see Liverpool as rivals for the title because of how far Chelsea were off them. So maybe that comes into it as well.
I know earlier on, Ali, you were saying defensive.
Yes,
that's what they need to strengthen. That's been their big issue. And we know Kalidou Koulibaly has been linked with a move. Some reports say he's even flown in to London, maybe to sort a deal at Chelsea. Nathan Ake, another player linked from Manchester City, possibly moving back down to Chelsea. Is that the area you think, Gabby, they need to strengthen more than anything else now? Bear in mind they've also lost a forward in Lukaku.
I think the big thing is how good Rudiger was for them. You know, they needed to bring in someone similar to Rudiger, what he offers, good on the ball, great positioning, you know, rarely gets beaten 1v1, great pace as well, aggressive. All these things is what Koulibaly offers as well. So he's a perfect replacement. Losing Christensen as well, they need one more. And there's talk of Kimpembe. I think he's a better option than Nathan Ake. If that can get put through, he'll be an amazing addition. But they still need a striker. I've said this to Chelsea fans I've seen, taxi drivers I've been speaking to, and they agree, like, they need a striker. You know, Havertz has been outstanding. You know, Sterling's going to guarantee you goals. You know, he's in the 100 club already at 27. But you need that focal point, that striker. Lukaku's gone. Timo Werner, Pulisic, Ziyech, you might as well get rid of them. They're not good enough for Chelsea. they need to go out and get a top striker. If that's Lewandowski,
go and get him.
Go and get him. If
Go
there's
and get
someone
him.
else out there that we don't know about,
Even if you know
is
that he's
available,
not he'd rather go to Barcelona, you still think just try
Go and get
Lewandowski.
him.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, go and get him.
Yeah, because I feel that they need Ali that extra firepower up there, because you look at the other teams, how many options Liverpool got? Manchester City, you look at Spurs now
But if
as
you know
well.
a player's heart is elsewhere, how hard? I mean,
They were trying to get Rafinha, and they knew that his heart was
true.
at Barca, and he had him on hold for 4
But you
or
had
5
Lukaku,
weeks.
who clearly didn't want to leave
No,
Inter Milan.
exactly.
He came, didn't really have his heart with Chelsea, still had it with Inter Milan.
But I think Lewandowski, like he will be trying to go Barcelona, but are they going to have the money available? Are they going to want to pay that sort of fee for someone at that stage of their career? So I think Chelsea should get Lewandowski, but if there's another striker out there who's available, a top one, they need to get it done, because the gap between that squad of players and Liverpool's and Manchester City's is still a lot for me.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.